Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world today. We're gathered to bring peace into our world. Racial. And what is racial peace? It's a state of harmony among people of different races. Especially, since race is simply a construct of human beings. It's something we made up to explain our existence, our differences. But today, we're going to look at those differences, how they arose, what purposes do they serve, what role did they play with our ancestors, and what role do we want them to play in our own lives. So we will begin. And just for explanation, this practice is a connection to our ancestors. And we do 4 rounds of 7 breaths. The purpose of these breaths is to ground us or to release us, to welcome the ancestors, and then to receive their energy. So we will begin. Now, we're thinking about all of the problems that separate us. I mean, it's not only race, something that can be seen, or language, or where someone comes, but now it's even private affairs. People want to separate themselves and make judgments about others. And it is this tendency for judgment that creates division and disharmony and racial at dis-ease. Because race is a construct, it's something someone decided to name the difference between one person's color of skin and another person's color of skin. When scientists say it really does not exist on a biological reality because all human beings have the same basic human structure beneath the skin. So now we are going to release all of these things that have so long kept us closely held into racial disharmony, racial distrust, racial fear, racial injustice, racial disparities of all kinds. We're going to release them specifically in today, those that have been built on race, but also acknowledging that if it wasn't the race, it could be the education or the location. What we want to do now is to release that tendency within human nature and even animal nature to want what someone else has, to not be satisfied with what one does have, to not recognize one's own blessings. And so we are going to breathe in and out 7 times to release that tendency that leads to racial disharmony and racial distrust. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. 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 Breathe out. Now we have released from our energetic presence those seeds of insecurity, greed, fear, jealousy that create racial and national and even gender differences and problems from war to abuse to murder because people look outward at others and see something different from themselves, failing to understand that if you look inside of yourself, if you close your eyes and only sense the energy of those who are around you, whether it is welcoming and open, whether it is closed and distrustful. So, we cannot control another person's energy. We can remain welcome with our eyes open, with a sincere welcome that pulls a person in away from their fear. And so now we are calling in the energy of our ancestors, calling upon our wise ancestors from the past who were able to get over racial hatred and racial wars and racial abuse. We're calling in our ancestors who have gained the wisdom and insight that sees beyond a person's outer surface and seeks to know the person within and to know their energy. And to know that their energy does not have to change your own energy, even to be welcoming. Because now we are breathing in energy of our ancestors to welcome them into the space. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 And now we welcome within our energetic space, outside of our aura, our ancient and wise ancestors who have overcome racial hatred, mistreatment, wars, national, all of those things that arise not from some good hearted notion to protect the community, but more for power and control because of a lack of inner security and confidence and faith and understanding in the connection of all life, that we are all connected. And we need each and every one of us and all that lives and exists. So we call upon them now to share their wisdom, to let us receive and feel their energetic wisdom. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Now we have received the wisdom of the ancestors. You may not feel it, you may not sense any change, except that when you see someone who's different from you, you may not see them as different from you this time, but you will notice, oh, what beautiful skin, what lovely hair, what a nice smile, how kind you are. Yes, you may get on before me. Human beings, and even kindness to also our four-legged and winged animals and friends. And so now, asking to maximize the energy we are receiving from our ancestors to release and prevent and remove in these times, in this century, all of this racially motivated disharmony in this country, however it manifests. That we set that intention, that within the end of this 100 years, people will not anyway be judged by their outer appearance and all the other things that racial discrimination has led to, that will all be gone by the end of this century. That's 80 years, longer than I have lived. So we are calling all of that wisdom energy to come and enter into us now so that we will be able to act to bring peace, to end racial problems, disharmony, injustice in this country by the end of this century, which means caring for those who don't have a lot of money. It means caring for their environments and their homes. It is a lot of work, so we call on our ancestors' wisdom energy to enter into us now as we breathe in Breathe out. Breathe in. 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 Breathe out. And now we have received the energy and wisdom of our ancestors. We are accepting it through the top of our head to connect us to the ever present energy of all of life and existence. And the energy flows into our eyes, third eye, to our perception, to those energies and knowings and glands that flow through us, the chemicals, everything meeting and flowing through channels of life seen through this point to our throat, that the intention of our words will be for compassion and peace, to our heart that we will act from a point of loving compassion, and at our solar plexus that we will use our will to make life better for all life. In this way, we've called upon the ancestors to join us here in this time, at this moment, to help us facilitate and make manifest racial healing in our lifetimes. So be it, and so it